Krishna. Today is January 22nd. Nothing can stop you. I suggest that you look at steadiness, enthusiasm, and determination to be Krishna conscious to be an indication of your desire to be Krishna conscious, not just an indication of your level, not just an indication of how pure you are. You might have to carry many anarthas throughout your life, but if you want to be Krishna conscious, more than anything, these anarthas cannot and will not deter you. In other words, you might look at determination, patience, and enthusiasm as a symptom of being Krishna conscious, which no doubt it is a symptom, because when you're attracted to something, naturally you're determined to achieve it. It goes in the material world for anything, and it goes in Krishna consciousness. But also, these are the qualities you need to be Krishna conscious. So sometimes the devotee might say, well, I'm not really determined, and I feel that when I become more Krishna conscious, then I'll become more determined. That's right, but it's only half right. Because how are you going to become Krishna conscious if you're not determined? So what this quote is saying, if you're not determined, you're not steady, you're not enthusiastic, you should see that as a problem in the process of the execution. And you should see that I need these qualities to be Krishna conscious. So now here's what we need to understand very clearly, that if you don't have these qualities, don't wait to have them thinking, I will have them when I become Krishna conscious, but realize these are the qualities I need to have to be Krishna conscious. So then you're asking, well, how can you be enthusiastic if you're not enthusiastic? And how can you be determined if you're not determined? And how can you be perseverant if you're not perseverant? But that's the whole point, that you need these things to be Krishna conscious. So if you don't have them, you have to have them. You have to muster them up, even if you don't feel it. So Prabhupada would sometimes say, without enthusiasm, everything is finished. So you never want to be in a position where you don't have enthusiasm. So the natural question is, but what do I do if I'm not enthusiastic? And the answer is, believe it or not, be enthusiastic. And so you say, how can I be enthusiastic if I'm not enthusiastic? And the answer is, if you're not enthusiastic, you won't be Krishna conscious. So if you want to be Krishna conscious, you have to be enthusiastic. And therefore, you have to force yourself to be enthusiastic. Well, how do I force myself to be enthusiastic? You enthusiastically engage in Krishna consciousness, even if you're not enthusiastic. In fact, sometimes you can even psych yourself out and tell yourself, I'm enthusiastic. It's time to chant my rounds. This is my favorite activity. There is nothing more that I'd rather be doing right now than chant my rounds. I can't think of anything else I'd rather do than right now just sit down and chant Hare Krishna. When actually, you feel exactly the opposite. Now you may think, if I do that, that's weird, and that's not even right because it's so fake. But the fact is, the way the mind is constructed, you can fake out your mind, and you could actually become enthusiastic just by saying that. Now in my japa workshops, I tell devotees, before you chant, you should say 3 things. I get to chant, so you don't go into chanting as a chore, like I have to chant. You don't have to chant. You get to chant. It's an opportunity. I want to chant. I want to. The desire of me, my soul, I've made a decision to be a devotee. I've made a decision to chant. Therefore, deep down, really, really, I do want to chant. And I love to chant because ultimately, when we're pure, we will love to chant. And chanting is ultimately going to be our favorite activity. Now, you may not be feeling that way at all, but devotees have told me just by saying those three things, it's revolutionized their japa. As strange as that may sound, it alters the attitude, it alters the consciousness, it alters the way we look at something just by saying, I love to chant, I get to chant, I want to chant. Even I don't feel like it. You'll start feeling like it. So, what's the point of this quote? We have to be enthusiastic, we have to be determined, we have to be patient, perseverant, even if we're not, because if we're not going to become Krishna conscious. So that's the idea. So, fake it till you make it. But if you fake it in Krishna consciousness is absolute. So if you fake enthusiasm and you employ enthusiasm in devotional service, you'll become enthusiastic and it'll help you in Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.